Hey, what's going on, world? This is Queen Aishah, and thank you so much for joining us for another dope episode of I Know Dope People. And one of my dope sister girlfriends is with me today, Daphne Wynn, Fanny, Mama love that baby. We'll get into that and where that comes from. But before we get started with my guest, let's do some Queens quickies. So, look, my hair just flying. Mama, what is going on? Anyway, this week I'm going to be at the Baltimore Comedy Factory in Baltimore, Maryland. That is on Thursday for one show at 8 p.m. If you are not familiar, Baltimore Comedy Factory is where I started my comedy career. One of the local clubs that I would perform at in the Washington, D.C., Baltimore, Maryland, Virginia area. So I know from when they had their first spot when it was over a diner. I can't remember the name of the diner, but on Light and Lombard. But this Thursday, we're at the new location they've had for many years, and we're going to have a ball. I love Baltimore because Baltimore comes out. No, nothing against no other city, but Baltimore come out to show out and to cut up. So we're going to be up in that spot. And then I have been invited and chosen to present an event on the Tom Joyner Fantastic Voyage 2023. It is a meetup. It is not a seminar. It's a meetup event called Dating Under the Influence, hosted by Queen Aishah and Nika Owens. The cruise is May 20th through May 27th, and we are going to Jamaica, the Grand Cayman Islands, and Mexico. Okay, so we're going to have an amazing time. And ain't nobody on there performing but Stevie Wonder. It's nothing big. Lauryn Hill. And Charlie Wilson. I fell in love with Charlie Wilson the first time I went on a cruise as a guest of a friend of mine. May he rest in peace. Leroy Williams. He was performing. I was his guest, and I fell in love with Charlie Wilson in San Juan, Puerto Rico. So I get to see him perform. If you've never seen Charlie Wilson perform, he gives a show. Him and them dancers, they get it in. Okay. And here's some other information. So I was researching a movie that I'm going to see tonight called Air, and happened to come across someone I had never heard of, nothing personal, but I'm not really into like the NBA and basketball like that. But it's a movie out called Sweetwater. And it's about Nat Sweetwater Clifton, who is a Hall of Famer. And he was the first African-American basketball player, NBA player, to sign a contract to the NBA and change the game. So they now have a movie out about him. And I'm going to check that movie out. So if you didn't hear about the movie or hear about Mr. Nat Sweetwater Clifton, may he rest in peace, we need to check that movie out and support it. Okay, so Katanya, my producer, she sends me things throughout the week of like, you might want to talk about this in Queen's Quickie. So this one came up, and I'm not an abusive person. But this one, I think I'd have whooped somebody's ass. They're going to just put it out there. So this woman signed an agreement, a deal, a contract to be on a reality show. And part of being on the reality show was to have all of her natural teeth pulled. You know, I don't play with teeth. You see that? I don't play with teeth. Pulled all this woman's teeth. And then they canceled the show. They declined the show. They said they were no longer doing this. Somebody going to give me some teeth. They're going to implant me up in here. I'm going to implant my foot in somebody's ass. That's all I'm saying. I'm just saying. So, yeah, best of luck to you, sweetie. You get your attorney and you get your team that can whip some ass, because I am totally apart. I'm mad for you. I want to loan you a two, but that's not going to happen. Thank you so much for checking out Queen's Quickies. And my guest today is Miss Daphne Wynn, Fanny. Mama loves that baby. We have been friends since like 95. She was actually my sister Masada's friend. And see, we the type, if we rock with you, we just take you in. So she was a friend of Masada's. Then she became a friend of Razia's. And then she met me, and it was just all over. Like, we took our friendship to a whole another level. She's from Alpoca. Am I saying that right? Acapulco? I know that has to be Indian land. Florida. She's a native, and she's been in Atlanta forever. She is a graduate of North Carolina Central, where I wanted to go. When I visited North Carolina Central on the Black College Tour in the 80s, the men there were just so fine. I was like, this is where I need to be. My spirit said I need to be here, but I didn't make it. Anyway, so Fanny is a pastor. She is an entrepreneur. She sells luxury vehicles. She has the gift of like seeing in the future. like to let you know how you need to get your life together before something don't go right and go awry. She is a awesome communicator. She has a awesome spiritual communicator, and she has her own podcast she's had for many years, and she'll talk about that. And it's called Straight Talk with Straight. I want to call her Fanice. Straight Talk with Daphne, and it comes on Saturdays at 12 noon. She is a media personality, a singer, and she can sing, actress, and all those many, many, many things. We're going to talk about how, as her being my friend, my sister friend, Fanice has hit many clubs with me, many comedy clubs, and met many of the comedians, and she still stays in her center. She stays spiritually grounded, and she laughs at me, and I think she'd be whispering a prayer on me and everybody else too. Please put your hands together and show some love for my great, awesome sister friend, Daphne Wynn. I love that baby. What's up?
I love that baby.
How are you? Thank you for your yes.
Yes, it's always yes with you. It's been that for 27
I
years.
know, right? Like you look so pretty. Did you bathe today, y'all? This is how we talk to each other.
I took a shower this morning.
Yes, let the water hit it.
Yes, let the water glisten all over my board.
Yes. So I'm so grateful to have you on the show, and I think that I think you are just such a dope individual. This is Taurus season, and she is a Taurus.
They're coming up next month, honey. Yes.
So Fanice. Tell people about Fanice. Who is Fanice? How do you stay back? It's a lot. That's a loaded question, but tell us about Daphne. Fanice, mama love that baby. Fanice.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Well, first of all, I just want to say thank you for even having me on and considering me to be dope.
Of course.
I think one of the
You ain't know?
No. I mean, I didn't know, but it's one of those things where I think one of the most amazing compliments you can get is from someone who knows you more intimately than anyone else.
Mm-hmm. And we slept in the bed together too.
Because we have slept together many times, in the bed.
You don't sleep with everybody. No offense to some people, but me and Fanice, we can sleep together. We'd be like, yo, you check this out. I was just saying that you were reading a book, and it was about declaring and decreeing. And the way it was said, this was like in 2015. And I actually wrote the book down. I can't remember. It was one of our white uncles that you was reading, and it was just so dope. Mm-hmm.
I don't know what it could have been.
Yeah, but we was in the bed together because we sisters like that. And we was like,
not to mention, I don't even have people in my house. Period. Definitely not staying the night. You know what I'm saying? You're one of those persons who can always come to my house, like forever in a day. But it is, and so I appreciate the compliment because you've always been very encouraging, very positive. I don't care what I've been through, what life has thrown my way. You've always been a very true and sound friend, and I'm so grateful for that. So it's a compliment. I'm humbled. No matter what I've done, always humbled to know that people see me in a certain light, especially my friends. Mm-hmm. And I don't call everyone friend because everyone's not a friend. I'm a friend to most people, but it's not often reciprocated. But you truly reciprocate friendship and sisterhood. So thank you for considering me dope. I know that you are dope, and
thank you
in so many ways. But you've helped me in so many ways. Be who I am. Over the years, and I think and the Bible says that iron sharpens iron, and so a man sharpens the countenance of his friend. And so when you have friends that are able to sharpen you, make you better, keep you postured, to check you when you're wrong, to challenge you, not always just celebrate, your wins, but also help you not have so many losses. And so that's definitely been you in my life. I often hear echoes of things you've said to me over the years, and I take those things and I apply them as often as I can in any regard in my life. And so I'm just grateful that no matter what lifestyles we both have, that you've allowed me to create balance in my life. Because it's like, it's okay to be in a club, if that's not your lifestyle, but doesn't mean that who you are in that space, you have to take on what's going on around you. And so I've learned that through you. over the years, and I'm grateful that we have allowed our friendship to masticize outside of your sisters. You know, I love everybody in your family, even your brother Malik. And
that's right, mama. Everybody.
Everybody.
You know, everybody.
We just family, you know, at the
yes.
end of the day. And so, yeah, I met Razia first, actually.
Okay.
Then I met Masada, but me and Masada were in the same city. So that's why me and Masada ended up, you know, becoming closer. And I adopted her daughter. Her daughter was
Asata Aishah, that's my baby.
She'll always be
that's
my baby. With her arm hanging under my armpits, tickling me and stuff. Like,
you believe she's gonna be 26? Can you believe that?
No.
Or is she 26 about to be 27? Because I might be in denial. Because I still talk to her like she little Asada.
That's what I'm saying. That is ridiculous.
That's not bad.
So yeah, I've been around for a long time.
In intimate situations and connections.
Very intimate, very intimate. So yeah, so I don't know. Who I am is someone who's ever learning.
I like that.
Yeah, I'm always learning. I'm always growing. I don't think I can really just define myself right now because I'm still developing. And it's so funny. I was talking.
You're only 20, 21, 22.
Because I'm only 21 anyway. I'm just getting started. Okay.
I'm just getting started.
Mm-hmm. I was talking to a girlfriend yesterday, and I was telling her, it's amazing how at this age, I am really just learning that I have some healing and some things that I'm still having to go through at this age. And I'm like, why did it take so long? And so it's like, there is no way you can think you're just going to master this life in a certain time frame. It's progressive. And so that's where I am right now. I am learning who I am, like the true essence of who I am. Yes, my experiences have allowed me to be who I am and to get me where I am today. But who I am is someone that's just growing and learning. You know, I consider myself to definitely be a person of spiritual balance and commitment. I love the Lord. I love people.
And he love that baby.
And he love that baby. Lord knows he love that baby. He love no matter what I do.
Yes.
And so I'm grateful to be that, you know, but you know, I'm a sister, I'm a friend, I'm a cousin, I'm
an auntie,
you know, I'm
a daughter,
a all that fellow.
Yeah.
So all of those things, you know, is pretty much who I am, and I'm grateful. I'm your friend.
Yes. And it's so funny that you were saying how you're like, oh my God, I'm just learning this at this age. I was having the same conversation with myself. I think it was like maybe this morning when I was, you know, getting ready, doing my prayers and everything, or maybe yesterday, but it doesn't hit me like it used to. It's not a stressor. It's not a deadline. It's something that'll come in, you acknowledge it, and you keep it moving, because we have to give ourselves grace, because we're always learning. Like you said, we're always learning and evolving. And when that stops, life stops. Right? So, yes.
Yeah, I heard a statement that I heard from God once, and he said, movement without progress is stagnation. And it stuck with me because I think it was like 2009 when I heard it, and I was like, wow. I was like, what do you mean? It's like, if you're not growing, you're stagnant. You know, you're basically dead, because dead things don't move. So it's like, you know, you could have movement, but if you're not progressively moving towards something, you're basically dying. And so that's why I'm like, I'm ever learning, because if I ever get to a place where I feel like I can't learn, it's like, what am I still here for? Because I don't think we're just learning to learn. We're learning to be a blessing to someone else, and to be a light to someone else as well. So I think we owe it to ourselves to learn and to take self-introspection first. Because I think, especially in social media and where we are now in society, we take a lot of time figuring out what other people are doing, you know, these shows and
distractions.
Distractions. And it's like, can you figure out who you are? And what you need to do with your life? And so, yeah, I just think that what you said is key. We have to be available to learn and to heal. You know, we got issues, honey.
And we all got work to do. We all have work to do. So I think a lot of times, especially with social media, if you're not disciplined and knowing when to turn it off, and you get so caught up in whether it's national news or just Facebook IG news and
Right.
somebody else's stuff
Mhm.
that you get, you don't, first of all, it's a distraction. So if you really want to be distracted and not do your work, it's a perfect tool, right?
Mhm.
But sometimes you can get the information, get what you need, get the lesson from them or something someone's sharing and keep it
Mhm.
moving. So that's why we have to really manage it, because I don't need to know every day. Like I was talking to Razia yesterday or the day before, and something kept coming out. She's like, why they keep showing me this? And now they have it where you can say, show less, show me less. I don't want to,
Right.
I think
Yeah.
that's a great tool, because
Yeah.
sometimes it's just too much. You know what I'm saying? It's too much.
It is. It is too much. And I think that if we don't realize what is controlling all of these narratives, we will get sucked into the vacuum of distraction and consumption. And I've been saying that and addressing that for a long time now, is that we have become consumers of consumption. Like all we're doing is just consuming, consuming, consuming. And if you keep consuming and you don't have output, you're just going to become a waste basket. You know what I'm saying? Where someone's just dumping all this information, all of these symbols and all of these, innuendos and all of this stuff that we've become inundated with. And then our minds are flooded with this stuff and we have no way to release it because all we're doing is consuming.
Yes,
and I'm just
exactly.
like, I can't do it. I don't think I've been on social media for about a couple months now. Like I said, I took a break. I've been traveling. I'm like, I'm tired.
Right. And it's true. Yeah, because it's a lot of energy. I actually, the new year, I actually did 90 days. So it was so funny because I was supposed to start back like, I guess say April 1st. And I've been doing it, but I don't really miss anything. This was what's so funny. So I wanted to share something. It probably was about my show in Baltimore. I forgot how to repost. I had to send Katanya a message and I was like, Katanya, how do I repost? I know she was like, what? I taught you this like years ago. But I forgot that I even had the app on my phone because I had not been using social media.
Right.
So like a lot of times people think, oh, did you see my story? I go online to post what I have to post. If something comes up, I'll see it. If somebody texts me something, I'll see it maybe. If I feel, depending on who it's coming from or what I'm thinking may be, I may not check it out. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, I really monitor my time and energy with the social media because we just be doing a lot.
I literally just thought about this, and I hate to bring this up while we're on the air, but I meant to call you.
Don't say nothing crazy. Go ahead.
Well, speaking of like people not knowing what's going on, so my girlfriend sent me a text and was like, have you seen this? And I was like, no. So Dexter Redding's brother the other day. You remember Dexter?
Wait a minute. Why?
Otis Redding's son.
Who died?
His brother Otis Redding, Otis Jr., his namesake, Otis Redding's name.
Oh, yeah, because Fanny took me to the Otis Redding compound.
Yeah. Well,
and we was eating Doritos.
You know
what? Rest in peace. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, but I didn't. So I'm just saying, this is how unplugged I've been. I didn't even see all of the, of course, the hype and the articles and all this stuff about him.
Wow.
I had to call Dexter myself because I didn't know that he had passed. But I'm saying that to say that when you are truly unplugged, you miss some things that are important too.
Yes.
But you also can, it's like a reminder that, you know what, I really am over here centering myself and unplugging enough to know that it's okay if you're not always on every scene. I remember Masada told me a long time ago that Mama J, your mama, said that, honey, you got to know when to leave the party.
Yes, and you ain't got to be the first one there.
And I've always remembered
you don't have to be the first one there. Yeah, my mother says that. Yeah,
you don't always have to be on every scene.
Yes,
you know what I'm saying. Even with my business, with radio and interviewing, red carpet, I get opportunities to do a lot of things, but I turn a lot of stuff down.
Right.
The last major interview I did was with Lil Boosie. And he invited me.
Potato chips, good girl. Let him know his rap snacks is everything. Praise God. The salt hits your ankle just right, especially during the pandemic.
That is so funny. He invited me to do his I think this thing that he does in Louisiana every year and his movie premiere. And I was really pushing to do it. But as I was pushing to do it, I felt like this is to me like a little too much. And I just made a decision. I don't want to do everything. I don't want to always be on every opportunity. If I can't see where it's gonna take my brand, then I have to start making a decision. Is this even worth me, making this effort? You know what I'm saying? And I think sometimes we've gotten, again, caught up in this consumption where we feel like if I'm not on social media, I'm gonna lose my brand, I'm gonna lose my following. And I'm like, listen, at the end of the day, I'm still me no matter whether you see me or not.
Right. Exactly. And what's for me cannot miss me.
Period.
That's it. That's it.
I mean, period.
So Fanny, let's talk about your book, 40 Days of Gratitude, and how you do and it may be a few times a year, but I remember when you first started, I think I did the first one with you. That's when I started in Maryland. I moved to LA and it was a time change.
Oh my gosh.
And I would get up at 5 a.m. I think it was 5, girl. And we would be on the 40 Days of Gratitude. So let's talk about the 40 Days of Gratitude.
Oh my
God. I see it on social media now too. So I think that's dope.
Oh my gosh. So wow, yeah. It's been 10 years now.
Oh my gosh.
Isn't that crazy?
Right. Wow.
That's crazy. It's been 10 years that I've been doing 40 Days of Gratitude. And 40 Days of Gratitude was birthed out of a lot of pain and discontentment. I was complaining about my life. I didn't like where I was. And God basically said, okay, well, because you act like the children of Israel who complained, and I had them wander for 40 years, I want you to fast for 40 days. And it was indicative and a reminder of not to complain. So he taught me how to be grateful and how to speak confessions of gratitude. So I thought it was just a one-off.
Spirit had another plan.
He had a whole nother agenda, honey. I thought it was just this one little thing, but it turned into a prayer line. It turned into a ministry. And it turned into a conference. And so, yeah, I just did my last conference in March. I normally do it in October every year, but I postponed it last year because it was just so much. And it has grown. It's impacted the lives of a lot of people. I wrote a book, a devotional out of it. And now I'm working on my second book called Love Rehab. It's actually in editing phase.
Love it.
I'm excited about that, but it's been a journey. Thank you. It's been a journey. I remember those days and those mornings you would text me saying, girl, I just got up, or girl, this is good, and all the encouragement. So that's what I'm saying. No matter what, and I know what your background has been, and I think it's important to say that you don't all have to have the same spiritual acumen or the same religious background, if you want to call it religious. I don't really subscribe to the religious stuff. I probably did when me and you first met.
Little baby Jesus.
Little baby Jesus. Mama didn't have
little BJ
when we first met.
Yeah, but this is, it's so funny just to talk, because I remember one time it was something that was going on, because Fanny is also a realtor. It was something that happened with a client or maybe a business partner, and I just felt that you were just so sad and just disappointed. I'm not going to say broken, but very disappointed. And we were driving, and Spirit just said, and I just started talking to you. I was very firm with you about setting your boundaries.
Yeah.
But I also was giving you just affirming you as well. So I was firm, but I was affirming too. Write that down. I was firm, but I was affirming too.
Firm and affirming.
Right. I was pouring into you and stuff, and then you were driving. We didn't get no accidents. You were crying and all of that stuff. But I knew you heard me. Yeah. Because one thing I think as human beings, as women, there are times that people can take our kindness, right, for being weak. And I know that you're a very giving person. I know that you're a very giving person, and you make a way, for other people. And you were just so hurt. And I think that something may have happened before then too. And I think I said, well, for me, when such and such, what did you do? And didn't we talk about this? But it's I think you got it.
Yeah.
I think at that moment that you got it. Because see, sometimes we have to be able to sever relationships that no longer serve us. Right. And it's okay. I have a prayer that I say, God, please remove me. Please remove me from anyone and anything that I no longer serve and they no longer serve me. Because guess what? I ain't perfect. So I may not need to be in your life no more either.
Hello?
So do for me in spirit what I can't do in body. Exactly. You better come with it, boo, but you kaboo.
First of all, you're not about to have me crying on here, losing my lashes. I took all
Yeah,
this time
I
putting
see
these lashes on this
I see
morning.
them owls, butterflies on your eyes.
We're not doing that today. But that is exactly the sentiment I was saying when I first said how you've always spoken life and been that friend that's inserted balance, but also was firm when you needed to be firm.
Mm-hmm.
And I have to have people around me like that who can challenge, but at the same time, it's out of love and compassion.
Mm-hmm.
But you're firm enough that you get it. You don't allow that person to be debilitating in what they're offering you as a friend. You know what I'm saying? Like,
that's right.
There's nothing worse than telling someone something that's not going to pull them out of where they are. You know what I'm saying? That's why I said I take those moments, that statement you made about boundaries. I'm just implementing stronger boundaries even now.
Even with yourself.
Even with myself, even every year, I think I'm implementing different boundaries because as I grow, I realize, oh yeah, I don't want that. So I have to move my boundary line. You know what I'm saying? You used to be 5 feet. Now I need 15.
Right.
I need 15.
Play chess, not checkers. You gotta know how to place people.
Yeah, and I've learned how to implement and insert those, and that's why I value who you are in my life, no matter how often we talk or not. Thank you. I just think it's important for us to embrace words of encouragement and to be able to be checked on some things, because it's easy for you to call a girlfriend and you complain about something and then it's like, girl, yeah, and it's like, well, what part did you play in this situation?
Yeah, we don't talk, and we don't, it's how we talk to each other too, Fanny. Like we love and pour into one another. And we listen, we hear each other, and I'll come over and we'll be talking about something serious, and I may start cutting up. And Mama, she just be looking.
It's something I say. It's something I say to you, and I say to Zoo all the time. And I think that when you are a comedian or you have certain brands that people see you as in media, they only see you as that, and they kind of put you in a box. But people really don't know, unless they know you, how beautiful your mind is and how intelligent you are. Because I think a lot of people misconstrue what comedians are.
We are very intelligent people.
Most intelligent. Listen, I mean, you have to be able to pull real life situations and draw a person in and make them laugh about their pain and laugh about some of the idiot things that they may have done. You know what I'm saying? And I think that that's something I've always appreciated about you, because we could be serious, but you could also allow me to laugh and know that it's okay to have balance in both. I'm pretty much a serious person.
I don't think so, but okay. But it's so funny.
But if you know me,
because I know different sides of you. Yes. And
I'm
really
a comedian on the low. I just
right. And it's so funny because like we were talking about, you'll come to my shows. I'll go to church with you. I'll go to your church. You got to talk about your church. I came when you got to tell me when you got
ordained.
I'm about to say sworn in. Don't do it.
That means sworn in, the same thing.
When you got ordained, that was such a great time. That was so much fun. So just for us to be able to, because on the outside looking in, you can look at people that are church people, you look at people from the entertainment, they looking at us in different ways at our different events, like, well, why are they friends, or why are they together, and how does that work? We just flow.
Well, I think one of the worst things you can do is to amputate a person's soul and relationships that they have built. And that's one thing I've always stood for. And I'm going to tell you honestly, and this is really bad, and it's something that has challenged me for a long time, but the people in the church have a problem with my relationships with people outside of the church.
I believe it, because I done seen how some of them look at me.
No, like
I just thought, no, I'm dead serious.
Right? No, seriously, no.
I'm dead.
No. I know you, but I'm saying that to say, like, even my friend Con, I remember when I was hanging out with them, and I went through a car accident one time, and they came and checked on me. One of my friends that wasn't in the church, he put me up in a hotel, and when they came and visited me from the church, they went back and told the church I'm basically laid up in a hotel with these sinners, so they said. So when I got back, that's what I got. And I was like, those sinners looked out for me when I was down. Well, where were y'all? Because I didn't get a phone call. And so it's those religious spirits that put a bad rep on people, because it's like, I'm not about to negate 20-something years of a friendship because I found Jesus. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
Like that.
First of all, where was he? Why did he need to be found? Founded it.
I mean, hello. So at the end of the day,
I mean, hello.
So
That was
at the
classy.
end,
I mean, hello.
So at the end of the day, it's like you have to have that balance. And I had to learn it. I had to learn it because, you know, religion, you're growing up in church, you're growing up around your grandmother, and they tell you can't do this, you can't do that, you can't touch them. And it's like it's a disease. If you touch somebody that's not in the church, it's gonna rub off on you. It's like, first of all, we all in the same boat.
Right.
Traveling down the same water. You know what I'm saying? Like somebody gonna jump off the boat, somebody gonna fall off the boat. You know what I'm saying? And at some point, it's up to us to throw them a life raft. It's up to us to extend a hand to help them get where they need to be. And it's not always the same path. And that's the problem that I have with a lot of people. It's like, at the end of the day, I love my friends, and we respect each other, and we embrace each other at the same time, and we exercise our boundaries. And that's why we've been friends for 27 years.
Okay.
Because Mama love that baby.
21. Mama love that baby.
Mama love that baby, honey. 27 verse.
We are a phone call away. We get busy. We may miss each other's call, but we'll catch up. And it's like we just don't miss a beat. We just keep it flowing. It's just amazing how my relationship with your mom, your relationship with my mom, so it's just dope, and it just flows.
And I was almost your sister-in-law, but we ain't gonna talk about that. No, I'm joking.
Well, Malik's birthday next week.
That is not even.
And he gonna be in the city.
Can't
nobody. No, he's not gonna be in the. Is he coming to Atlanta? He gonna be. He going to Roselle.
A special person to deal with Malik, child. Everybody loves Malik.
Now you're gonna have everybody looking for him. I'm gonna send this to him, and he's gonna look for it.
Now the brother is fine. Let's just be clear. He's a beautiful man. God did his thing. God did his thing with you, Malik. You know what I'm saying? But you great too.
Everybody love Malik. Everybody love Malik.
But because Malik also has been a good friend. You know, it's almost like just family. You know, like whatever is needed. If we got something going on, we're gonna show up. We're gonna support each other. You know what I'm saying? I think Malik came and helped me move a car or something before when he was in town. You know what I'm saying? So I just love the fact that we are all able to love one another in our own space. And it's not a prerequisite that time is consistent in friendship. Time has no barrier in friendship. You know what I'm saying? It could be 10 years, 5 years, 2 years. It's still gonna be like we didn't miss a beat. You know what I'm saying? Because to me, that's true friendship. That's a true testament of friendship. And that's always been the case with us, no matter what's been going on. We've always been able to just come right back to the center of our love.
Yes. Remember when I did the event when the Super Bowl came to Jacksonville, Florida? So Fani taught me, I didn't know what SR was. And she was like, oh girl, that's senior road. Remember I didn't know. I was like, what is SR? And he was like, oh, that's senior. I said, now the she country for real.
We stayed at the CSX Railroad compound.
Yes, and they did it up.
That was 2005.
Yo, and we were all in the room together. Me, you, Malik, and who else? We had our double beds. We were just family. We give each other space, you know. And them people took care of us. You hear me? Thank you, CSX. They fed us. I love
this picture.
Look at us.
Look at us. Ooh, I'm so young.
Yes.
I love it.
But you need to talk about these pancakes because I need.
You know what?
Fani, let me tell you something. So first of all, when Fani, she's domestic. She's so personable. She's gonna take care of you. She's gonna love on you. She's a nurturer. Fani introduced me to buckwheat pancakes. First of all, you introduced me to buckwheat pancakes years ago in the 90s. And thumbs up. Well, Thumbs Up have several locations in Atlanta. We would go there and eat, and I call it Cali Pub. Fanique would make the buckwheat pancakes at home, and she would make, you would really think that you were at a restaurant or a top shelf hotel, because she's going to give you your pancakes, no eggs, because she is a vegetarian. Honey, and she's going to give you the beautiful blueberries and raspberries and strawberries. And I'm like, fresh. This is so beautiful, fresh. I'm like, this is just so beautiful. So I don't know if you dating or anything, but I'm gonna just need somebody to make room. I'm gonna need to get me my pancakes, with my fruit and stuff. Okay, and I love that picture on your wall at your place you recently moved to. So I need to come touch that picture. I mean, I think we 20 minutes from each other. I think so.
That's really sad. We're gonna do something about that.
We're gonna have to do something about
like that. Soon.
Because I think the last time I saw you was when we was pandemicing. And it was your birthday.
It was pandemic and at my house for my
birthday.
I
don't come to anybody's house. I was like, Fanique, who gonna be there? How many people gonna be up in there? Right? Is the dog wearing a mask? I need to know.
And we were covered, smothered, and chunked in masks.
Yes. I love Mama's body.
Yes, so you're gonna definitely have to come by. Matter of fact, I'm gonna let's put on the next 2 weeks. We need to be getting together.
Yeah, because that'll be before the cruise. That'll be before the cruise. We'll get some pancakes and some fruits.
So I had a cook-off with Masada. It was Asada and Kamani. And
you see Kamani now, my God, that's my nephew. Do you believe he graduated from high school this year, Fanique?
No, I can't.
He's 18. Can you believe Kamani is tall? He's like 6 feet. Kamani is 6 feet. You wouldn't even thought he was gonna be 6 feet. He is 6 feet. Okay, I'm gonna sing you I'm gonna sing you a song that he did. You wouldn't even believe it's come on. Yes, he making beats and everything. He went from being a gamer to making music.
Oh my God!
Well, we're not surprised.
The last time I saw him, I ran into them in Buckhead. Gosh, Kamani was probably about 5 feet at the time.
Honey. He is a whole 6 feet and slim.
So we did a Christmas together at when Kamani was down here, and of course they were like, their dad makes the best pancakes, and Masada was like, well, Fanique, and Asada was like, well, I don't know, Auntie Fanique made the best pancakes. I don't know who got the best pancakes. So Kamani was like, let's just do a bake off. So I was like, okay, fine. I had a stack of pancakes this high on the table, and they were like all perfect. And Kamani was like, okay, Fanique, I got to give it to you. Do those pancakes. I'm like, I'm a pancake connoisseur, sir.
Okay, because she's going to make them pancakes. Okay, they going to be a whole bunch of butter. They ain't going to be greasy. I don't even know what the Fanique secret recipe is. They just be.
I'm not going to tell.
They the bomb now. I'm
not gonna tell. I love to serve. I love seeing that, people appreciate, what I do. It's so natural for me. And do you know that I've had some people tell me that I was trying to do too much because I was being myself, and I'm like, yeah, you just.
That's when that boundary came in, because they don't know you. They don't know your authentic self.
You really just don't know me because this is what I do everywhere I go.
This is what she do.
Everywhere I go. So that's how you know when people really know you. If you hadn't slept in the bed, if you hadn't slept in my bed and you have not had my pancakes, you are not my friend. If I haven't cooked for you, you're not my friend.
You funny, but
you're an associate.
But hold up. Remember one time we did a show? I don't know if I was living here yet, but we were over at the IHOP in College Park, or what is it called? The other area?
Hateville.
And they changed it. Fanique ordered the red potatoes. They were let me explain something to you. I'm talking about pancakes. Them potatoes are seasoned so good because she's vegetarian, so she's not going to eat everything, right? And I was like, Fanique, let me tell you. I was like, can I get an order? When I tell you, I used to go and order those potatoes, and now they stopped carrying them.
Really?
Fanique, let me tell you something. Fanique's so picky. Look, not picky like that, but she's so cautious. She'll pick up the salt and pepper. She'd be like this.
I do.
Yeah. So I was like, Fanique, and this is before the pandemic.
I
She's like,
know.
Aisha. She's like, you know how many hands and fingers, and I'm like, you know what, Fanny, you right.
Oh my gosh. So I've been telling people during the pandemic, I said, y'all should have been doing this. Exactly. This is what I've been doing anyway. Y'all grabbing hand sanitizer and grabbing tissue to open doors. And
this is what we do.
Sweetheart, this is what we've been doing for a long time, honey. Like this, y'all late.
Y'all late to the party.
You
late
got the memo late.
Yes,
honey. Late.
So tell us. So, Fanny, tell us what projects you have coming up. Do you have any conferences for the 40 Days of Gratitude? Your radio show, if they need to buy a core, and Fanny sells cores around, she sells them nationally. Okay.
Absolutely.
Your money national.
You
can purchase a car national.
Absolutely. So yeah, I've been in the car business for 18 years.
I cannot believe that. She's only 21.
I'm just saying, right.
And you've been a realtor for how long?
22 years now.
Oh, Jesus. She came out as a realtor. I
came out the womb. When you want a house?
Okay.
So I've been doing both of those things longer than anything. And I still love what I do. My business is called Luxury Auto Line. I'm in Buckhead on Peachtree Road. I do have a website. It's luxautoline.com. And most times I buy cars, I buy out of state because it's easier to buy for a lesser price and be able to pass those savings on to my customers. So yeah, California. I mean, I could buy in Africa, all kinds of things.
And have it shipped and delivered.
And have it shipped and delivered right to your front door. So I was Carvana before Carvana.
Pretty much,
you know.
We ain't mad, but yes,
they just
had
the money. Yeah, they just had the money to back them, you know. So I'm working on my coins.
Okay. So on that
level, which is around the corner.
Yes,
so I'm gonna be excited to be launching a new expansion of of my business and what I do, so that I can retire because I really don't want to work no more.
No, that'd be for real. No, for real.
I just really want to work on my media. You know, I want to work on that. So that's in the making. I do have another 40 Days of Gratitude conference coming up. I'm not sure if I'm going to do it in October or not. I haven't decided. But if I do, I will definitely be announcing that. And I am going to actually start a new podcast brand. That's a spinoff of my new book that I'm about to release next month, which is Love Rehab.
Okay. What's the book about? Can you talk about that?
Yes. I should have sent you the graphics for it too. It is a book about, it's called A Diary of a Bruised Heart. So it's about my pain. It's about my story. It's about some of the tragedies that I've experienced as a female. It's about being date raped, and it's about some family situations that I've survived. You know, my dynamic between my mother and I and all that. So I highlight some of those things. But I also have paralleled it with self-help. So I kind of give you ways to manage your trauma and ways to manage the pain from the traumas that you've experienced and how to love through it. Because I think a lot of times when you've been victimized, you end up talking more about the villain than you how to forgive that person and how to see that person as still being human and flawed.
Yes.
Which is very different. And so, yeah, Love Rehab is coming out next month. It's in its phases of being edited, and I'm excited to release it. But I'm also going to be doing a book tour. I have shirts behind it. And so it's birthed a lot of different things. And again, I'm sorry I didn't send you all those graphics, but
that's fine. I'll get it.
You can get it on the website.
I'll get it
on the website. But yes, all those things are coming up. And then I'll have some other announcements coming up later that I'm not going to talk about today.
Okay, finally. Mama love that baby anyway. Yes, we can talk about that offline. We're going to talk about that and them pancakes.
Them pancakes.
Yeah, so are you doing the 40 Days of Gratitude? How often do you do it? Is one happening now?
It's annually. I normally do it for the last 10 years. We start the fast and the prayer the Monday after Labor Day. So that first Monday is the first day of the 40 days. And at the commencement of the 40 days, that's when we do the conference.
Okay.
Which usually falls around October 21st or 22nd.
Gotcha.
That every year it normally falls around the same time. So that's when we started. But I do still do my teachings. I was doing it every Thursday evenings. And now they want me to do some mornings. So I'm trying to figure out if I'm going to do early mornings once a week. Because y'all know I don't like to get up early in the morning.
And tell us, what's the name of your church and how can people get more information, attend, and all of those things?
So Daphne Wynn Ministries is my outreach ministry, and the church is the Revolving Door. We are virtual now. Of course, we went virtual 3 months before the pandemic, actually. So I'm online on Facebook on Thursday evenings at 7 p.m. We have an office in Buckhead, and we're going to be expanding a space for training because it's really an outreach and it's a non-orthodox type ministry. So I do a lot of trainings, a lot of interactive ministry, building, empowering, equipping, seminars and workshops. And so that's what the ministry, the Revolving Door is. And so we do that online right now, but we will schedule personal invites to come and join us in person when I get another space to do that.
Okay. Awesome. So let me ask you this, because you basically would say that you grew up in the church. And did you grow up Koji?
Yes, I grew up
So,
Kojic.
So to explain what that is, and then I'm going to ask you another question.
Okay, so Kojic is Church of God in Christ. And it is a very religious organization. They're very strict in their teachings. They consider themselves to be what they call holiness. Okay. So like my shoulders out right now, I would be going to hell probably.
Praise God.
Yeah, the earrings, the lipstick, the makeup, you going to hell. So they're very strict in their teachings because they're very religious. And my grandmother was an evangelist, and she ended up pastoring later on and having her own church. So when I was 15, I left because I was like, I can't do this right here. And
that's what my next question. How did you change? What made you want to change? And now you kind of defined and took your own path. It's not a unique path, but kind of went your own. Did you do your own thing you still communicate, unionize, if you will, with the Kojic, but let's explain that, how you work.
So I had two dynamics. It was a dichotomy between the two things, Kojic and Baptist. So, and both are very religious organizations. So I left and went to what you call a non-denominational church when I was 15, because I've always been the type of child or person that didn't like being controlled. So whenever I'm in
a Taurus, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but when they say, I got some Sagittarius in me because Aishah Sagittarius.
Yeah, I can't do
that. I can't.
Listen, no. And that's something that has been consistent. Like I left my father's house when I was 16, and I left my mother's house when I was 18. So I've been on my own since then. Because he was like, I can't do this. Okay, then I'll have to be here then, because I'm going to do what I want to do. Same thing with my mother. She was like, you have to come in at a certain time. I'm like, I'm in college. I don't have to do what you say. She was like, yes, you do, under my house. I was like, okay, let me fix that. So I left.
She said, let me fix that. I hope she sees this and she gonna get you. That's all I'm gonna say. Mama, it was her, not me.
But I did. And so at 15, I was always a very outspoken child. And even though that wasn't my natural personality, but I did not like being controlled. So I left that religious space because I wanted to explore who God was for myself. Not what you telling me he is, because I just didn't feel like this could be something I wanted to serve if I got all these restrictions. So I left those organizations and went to non-denominational ministry, and I was able to experience God for myself and learn and grow in that space. So yeah.
I think that's important, because I was saying to someone recently, with all religions, this is nothing against religions, but a lot of us, when we look at it, and I would say 90% or more of people that are in religions, they're in religions that they were born into,
right?
That probably never really did the research to say, does this work for me? Is this my belief system? Even when you think about your family culture, we just flow with it. We just go. But when you stop, and sometimes life and spirit will make you stop to say, this is not for you. This is not the path I have you on. This is not your walk. So I think that that's really important. And I think a lot of times we have fear of judgment and being people turning away from us, that we don't do that work and go on that journey and path. So I commend you on that.
And so, and you know this because when I met you, when I met your sister, I was on a retreat. That's how we all met. We did a spiritual retreat, and I was at that time not in the Christian religion at the time because I was exploring. So I've explored the Yoruba religion, I've explored the Buddhist religion, I've explored, you know, the Islam religion and Daoism and all those different things. I explored it, and it brought me back to the center of what people call Christianity. I don't even really use that term because I'm like, I'm spiritual. Yes, I love Jesus, and I still believe who he is as the Father. I mean, the Son of the Father. But I don't limit what I can receive from anything. And I think that's something that is hard for us to reconcile. A time for healing retreat. Come on, guys. That's exactly what it was, girl. That's when I became a vegan and everything. Yes, and I've been on that path ever since. And so, yeah, I think that we have to literally understand that if you don't open yourself up to receive all of what God has given us in an array of beauty, you know, all of our differences and uniqueness, you're gonna miss out. You know what I'm saying? And I don't limit myself from exploring. I can learn from a bum on the street. And it's a beautiful experience to be that open.
Because they be dropping knowledge.
Think you can't learn or experience. You know, I see God in everything. I see him in the trees. I see him in nature. I just came back from Europe. I was in London and Rome. And I'm like, look,
she got stamps on them passports and that passport.
Come on, stamps. And I'm looking at these monstrous buildings. And I'm like, there is no way men our size in this day and time built these structures. There's just no way. They had to be giants. So I'm just like, this world has so much to offer us. There's just no way we can just sit here and think that it happened in one way and that we can't receive from everything. And so I'm grateful that I'm in that space. But like you said in the beginning, I'm still centered in what I believe. I'm not moving off of what I believe, but I'm not going to negate that I can learn from something else.
That's right. Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. Yes, Fanny. Yes. So for me, Daphne, she normally has her show at 12 p.m. on Saturdays. And I've been a guest on her show some years ago, probably when I first moved here. We were in studio.
Straight.
So you can check her show out. So for whatever reason, this Saturday, she said she will not. You're not on. You're taking a day.
I'm tired. Because again,
it's a lot of work.
I'm making a transition. Yeah, I've been doing it for 7, going on 8 years now. And I mean, I've been doing it nonstop with no break. So I've been taking a break lately because I've been out doing a lot of red carpet events and movie premieres and things like that. And it's been taxing. I was supposed to be doing one next week, a movie premiere in California. And I'm just like, you know what? I'm just not even doing that now because I need a break to center. And I want to restructure what I'm doing because we need those coins. So I'm gonna need y'all to shift on this.
Run me my money.
Listen, I need y'all to shift.
In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit.
And the Holy.
But you know, it's so funny. It's not funny, but it's ironic and it's real. As talents, you know, we don't want to begrudge our talents and our gifts and our purpose. And some people be like, well, you know, we friends, can you do it for this, this, and that? And that's a boundary, right? Because people think as a comedian, oh, that's nothing that's natural. This is my craft. This is my gift. We can probably even barter on some stuff, but I cannot do free where I don't do non-for-profit when you're making a profit.
Exactly.
I don't do that.
Right. Yeah, and you know, every time I've invited you, and every time I've invited you, that's a great point because every time I've invited you to be at my ministry conference as a comedian or anything like that, I've always offered to pay.
Oh, absolutely.
I've asked you to come on, and I do that even with Zoo. I'm like, dude,
comedian Zoo Man.
Sorry, you guys.
Because they don't know. They probably like, who's Zoo?
We have
my cousin in comedy.
Just eardropping. You know, so.
He's from North New Jersey.
Zoo Man Miller, who's on tour with Catman right now. I think that it's important for us to share and impart in someone else's gift and craft, and not prostitute it. You know what I'm saying? And I think a lot of times that's
that
what
hit
we
my
do.
shine on now spirit.
That's what we do. We prostitute each other's gifts. You know, I have people calling me all the time, want me to do things, and I'm like, yeah, no. The answer is no now.
Yeah,
like, oh, I want to come be on your show. I'm gonna come be on your show. Okay, you can be on my show, but you know you have to pay for an advertising slot.
Yes,
you can't because this is the thing. When I was doing it for free, and you didn't think I had a name, you didn't want to come on the show then. So it's like when things start changing, that's why you have to value people even when they start, and you can't negate. That's why I saw into people at the very beginning. When I first met you, every show I could be at, I was
and you still, yep.
And to this day, if I can make it, I'm coming. You know what I'm saying?
No matter what day, what time, where it's at, in the state or out of the state,
it doesn't matter. Yeah, and so I think it's important for us to be supportive of what people are doing, and support sometimes does come in a monetary fashion,
or pancakes,
or pancakes.
Buckwheat, please. Warm syrup.
Buckwheat, okay. With
the original for real maple syrup.
Oh, your syrup is gonna be hot. It's not gonna be cold.
Yes. Yes, Fanny, thank you so much for your yes. Absolutely. You know I love and appreciate you, Daphne.
Absolutely.
Fanny, Wynn. So, Mom, how do we come up with Mama Love That Baby? How do we come up with that, Fanny?
My mom. Because I used to say that to her, and she would say it to me, and we'd be like, you know, Mama love that baby. And then you heard us say it one time.
And we just start,
we just started saying, Mama love that baby. So that's our thing.
Yeah, we do it. We'll leave it on voice.
I don't say it to anybody else. It's funny. I don't say that to anybody else but you.
That's funny. See, Mama love that baby. And it's so funny because you didn't say it today. But my
Mama love that baby. You got to put DAT, that baby.
That baby, the style, right? So listen, so my familiars, like familiars, they call me, what they call me for Nick?
Aishah,
right? Everybody don't know that.
How long did it take me to say your name right though? After all those years.
Aishah. So they call me Aishah, which some people look at the spelling and they'll actually say it that way. But from a little girl, I've been like Aishah. So for me, all day Aishah. Like some of my nieces and nephews, most of them say Auntie Aishah, but some of them say Auntie Aishah, but most of them is Auntie Aishah. But yeah, the people that they be like Aishah.
That's
so
what
people hear that, they be like, who are they talking to?
I'm like, yeah, it is Queen Aishah. I said, but it's Aishah.
It's Aishah.
That's how you know. I know her. I know.
Yes,
I don't know how many times I run into people on the red carpet, and I've had to tell them I met you at Laugh-A-Palooza with Queen Aishah. They were like, "Oh man, how is the Queen doing?" You know, I was like, it's so hilarious.
That was oh my God, to my fun.
I love
times.
It. Yes, I love it. I've met so many people with you. It's unreal.
Yeah, and it's
Jamie
so funny.
Foxx and
yes, I still got the pictures for you,
ma'am. And Jamie Foxx and Mike Epps.
Yes,
I met with you.
And Mike Epps is a straight fool.
He is. Do you remember when he told me that? Now, I was just telling somebody this last week. He told me I had a Phoenix Shakir cheekbones. I said, you know what? I'll knock you out. And that time Ronaldo Ray roasted me on his comedy show that night. That was hilarious.
We have some good time. Bruce.
Yes, Razia. We're gonna pray for Jamie Foxx.
Yes, praying for Jamie. Yes.
And yes, Rosalind. Support is a verb. I saw that. I love it. Yes.
Okay.
It's a verb. Show up.
Yes, and show out. Yeah.
Show up.
Thank you. I love and appreciate you. We're gonna catch up, talk offline, all of that. Tell Mama I said what's up. I heard you told me she got this mohawk, so we find out we doing something. We're in the same hair. Gang.
Absolutely.
Thank you. We're gonna be in touch. Have an amazing day. I don't know what you're doing or who you're doing it with, but have a really good time and just have my pancakes ready in a couple of weeks.
I will.
You look so beautiful.
Thank you. I love you so much.
Love you. Thank you, Mama. Love that baby. Mama,
Thank
love
you.
That baby.
God bless.
God bless. Thank y'all so much for checking out another episode of I Know Dope People. That is my baby Fanny. Yes, so listen, if you're watching in real time, that's great. If you're not, just share, like, subscribe. Queen Aishah on YouTube, Queen Aishah on all social media platforms. That is QUEENAISHAH. I love and appreciate you. Love up on yourself and somebody else. Peace and power. Thank you, Katanya.